Hi, my name is Mitch Ziegler. I'm a physical therapist and I'm a professor at Spring Arbor University. And today what we're going to be going over is, I call it the Quadrant Stretching Program for the shoulder. And what I mean by that is there's 4 different quadrants we're going to stretch in the shoulder. So we'll call it the 4-quadrant stretching program of the shoulder. There's going to be an anterior, there's going to be a posterior, lateral, and inferior part of the shoulders that we're going to be stretching. So we're breaking them down into quadrants. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to stretch the posterior quadrant of the shoulder back in through here. So what I'm going to have you do is just stand next to a door frame, okay? And I'm going to have you reach across and grab the door frame. And at first we're going to reach across right about shoulder height. And you're going to grab on with your fingers and get a firm grip. And then what you're going to do is you're going to rotate with your hips here. And what that's going to do is twist your body and it's going to stretch your shoulder. So the twist we're going to do with the pelvis is like this. So grab onto the door frame, twist with your pelvis, and then relax. Twist with your pelvis and relax. So we're going to do this 20 times, twisting and relaxing, twisting and relaxing. Let's say, for instance, you grab and you rotate and twist and you don't feel a stretch up here. Then move your hand up a little bit, check that position to see if that stretches, or check down a little bit to see if that stretches, and try to find kind of the sweet spot where you feel the biggest stretch. So I feel the biggest stretch right here, so I'm going to do my 20 rotations like this, okay? And then what you're going to do is, of course, do it on the other side. So that covers the posterior quadrant of the shoulder. Now we're going to cover the anterior quadrant. So you're going to put your hand up in the door frame. You're going to rotate your feet away. Your hand should be about a head height. You're going to rotate your body away until you start to feel a pull in your shoulder. Then what you're going to do is, I like to use this hand to kind of guide, but I'm going to just go into a rotation. So I'm rotating my body like this, but my hand is stationary. So I'm rotating, stretching, rotating, stretching, rotating, stretching, and we're going to do 20 of these rotation stretches, okay? So that's going to stretch the anterior quadrant. So now we've covered the back side, the front side, and now we're going to cover the underneath side. So in order to do this, you just go and grab the door frame with your fingertips and you just drop your weight down, okay? So if you have an overhanging bar or a bar you can hang from, just do it with the bar. If you can't grab the door frame because it's not deep enough, you can always grab the door too and just hang from the door and do the same thing that I'm going to show you. So there's 3 different ways that you could do this at home. I'm going to show you on the door frame. So you grab a hold of the door frame, you bend your knees until you feel a really strong pull somewhere in through here in your shoulder, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're just going to stick your chest forward and then rock it back. So you're going to go forward, back, and you're going to do that 15 times, okay? After the 15th time, you're just going to rock side to side and do that 15 times. And this is going to stretch in the frontal plane. This, going back and forth like this, is going to stretch in the sagittal plane. And then we're going to do a twisting motion like this, and this is going to stretch in the transverse plane. So we're going to do 15 side to side, 15 twist, and 15 front and backs. And that's going to stretch the inferior part of the quadrant of the shoulder. So now we've covered the anterior, the posterior, and now we're done the inferior. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cover kind of the superior quadrant up and through here, or superior to lateral. So what you're going to do is put your hand behind your back. You're going to pull your arm over as far as you can, and then you're going to stick your chest out. And by sticking your chest out, that should create a stretch in through the shoulder. So just to repeat, pull your arm over as far as you can, stick your chest out, and that'll be the stretch in the shoulder. Now if you want to do wiggles, rocking side to side, that's all good. I recommend that, but you hold this stretch for about a minute. So that covers the superior to lateral portion. This one is for the front, okay? This one right here is for the posterior side, and then the hanging one right like this is for the inferior. That covers all 4 quadrants of the quadrant stretching program of the shoulder. So I hope you enjoy this video, and thank you for watching.